That's kind of a trend that I've noticed when you're talking about kind of some of the process stuff is you're always working from the hole back into the shot.
Yep.
Is there a reason for that specifically?
Just your mirror line.
Dead center. That's so cool. But it's amazing how much that frees up literally everything else. Like, you know, why coaches growing up that talked about being process oriented versus result oriented.
Yeah.
But they never really defined that.
Dude, that is so fire.
I mean, it's dead center every time. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah.
But that's my point with like commitment and all this stuff. They're all great words, but it's like, what are we truly, like, what does it mean?
Right.
I mean, this is getting scary.
I mean, it's so good.
This is getting scary.
That's so good. Anything outside of 5-6 feet, I will always kind of walk on the low side of the break. So like this one's going to be a right to lefter, so I'll walk on this side here. And as I'm walking, I'll just kind of get an idea of, you know, kind of take a look here and gather any information I can from this angle. So I'll just line it up and kind of get settled into my setup position based on that line. I like to track the line to the hole, and then I just come back and hit it. And it went left.
Okay, so the first thing I want to start with is a concept we call reverse visualization. And essentially what that's going to be is him starting with a positive, visual of the ball in the hole and actually rolling backwards. So it kind of goes from the hole back into his task and his player side focus. And we're going to define that player side focus a little bit later. But I want to really get that visualization right, get him to see putts a little bit clearer. And as I'm kind of discovering off the bat, I don't think he's reading putts kind of the right way for him. So I want to introduce some concepts there as well.
First thing is throw this ball right on the hole where you think it should go in.
Fly it there or get it to roll?
No, I mean like literally set it there.
Oh, okay.
Like if it had one less roll before it's going in, where would it go? Okay. Now let me ask you this, why were you on the high side?
I mean, if it's breaking right to left, I see kind of that as the center. It's not really high side, really in my head.
Okay. So where's this one gonna come from? How does that get there?
From?
Again, we'll go like every couple feet backwards.
Gotcha, okay. I see what we're doing, okay.
Okay, so I want you to do everything like you would normally do.
Yep.
Let's keep that as a visual right now, and I'll move those balls when you're ready to putt.
Okay.
That's exactly how we did that. Where you see it falling, and then tracing it back.
So you like tracing the line backwards rather than like from the ball to?
Yeah, I mean, even to the point where you feel like it's coming out of the hole and then just working its way back to you.
Okay.
We call it reverse visualizing.
So one of the disconnects, and especially for somebody like Michael, they can start to, again, wander too much out to the target. So why reverse visualization is so important is that it brings everything back. But when he kind of says, well, I see that going out and going to the hole, like everything starts to kind of drift more and more away from him, and under pressure, that's going to be a little more extreme. And that target focus is going to cause that stress, and essentially, then he'll start missing putts under pressure.
I hit it a little too hard for the line that I liked.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was pretty damn good putt.
Yeah.
So the reason I like that though is because one, you still get the successful outcome, but you still bring it back to you.
Okay.
And what you can do to get it on that line.
That's kind of a trend that I've noticed when you're talking about kind of some of the process stuff is you're always working from the hole back into the shot.
Yep.
Is there a reason for that specifically?
Because it brings you back to you versus getting out here, right?
Okay.
So think about the thought process of like, you're all set up and the last thing you're looking at is the ball going towards the hole where your mind keeps drifting more and more out the target.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we still get that benefit of seeing and visualizing what we want to happen, but it pulls back into, again, your task. So it's like everything just right back to you, and then you got to be proactive.
Yeah.
You got to do your task.
So it's almost like, why had coaches growing up that talked about being process oriented versus result oriented.
Yeah.
But they never really defined that.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah.
But that's my point with like commitment and all this stuff. They're all great words, but it's like, what are we truly, like, what does it mean?
Right.
What are we committing to?
Yep.
Like when you're out there saying, I get wide and hit it, like that, I can commit to that.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm just saying commit to my line. Like, what does that truly mean?
Right. No, that makes a lot of sense. So you want to go as far as seeing the ball pop back out of the hole?
Yeah, like it's literally just going from here,
Yep.
rolling out, coming all the way back to you. And once you see that thing hit your putter face, you're swinging.
Again, just a little firm, but
Yeah.
I mean, I'm hitting the lines nicely.
Yeah. So let's get in even a little bit closer. But what I was trying to kind of sneakily point out though is when you started seeing these lines, you were on the high side.
Definitely.
So I firmly believe that people see break way better by taking the high side like this
Okay.
and then figuring out where straight downhill is.
I do that a lot on lag putts, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if you look at this is where the ball's going to die in. So
Sure.
once we start to go, look, this thing's going to, at a dying pace, it's going to go right here. This
Yep.
is flat.
Agreed.
Right? So now it's like tracing that back to here. Now I got my start line.
Interesting.
If you're a little faster, you're going here.
Interesting, yeah.
When you're down here, you can't really see that.
Okay.
So I've always heard the book example, but we're not reading letters.
That's fair.
We're looking at undulation.
Yep.
And we don't feel undulation much better than where we start to feel like we walk straight downhill.
Sure.
We're wired for the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
So once we find straight downhill, our bodies naturally gravitate towards it.
Interesting,
So I
yeah.
started really finding, okay, this is flat because I feel like I'm just walking straight down the hill.
Right. Yeah, that's funny that you said that because I do that a lot on lag putts, especially lag putts that I have success on. Is like, okay, I kind of get to a spot where I say if the ball gets right here at the right speed, it's going in the hole.
Yeah.
And whenever I get back into that habit, my lag putting seems to get exponentially better.
Yeah.
So
Just gives you a clear, like, this is where the thing's going to die at the hole.
yeah, for sure. And you know, if we're talking die pace, I'm usually a little faster than that, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna
so
be
you go a little
a
inside that.
little lower, but
So once you commit to, again, that, you got your line, your setup, then it's just head steady and putt it. Center.
no, that makes sense. It actually feels easier to commit to the line too, watching it, like visualizing it come backwards, which, like you said, gets you back into yourself rather than kind of being out at the target.
Right.
No, that's really cool.
You just got to keep in mind, it all links back to our performance inhibitor is stress. Mental activity doesn't mean we're necessarily anxious, but there's going to be some mental stress there, which is going to cause tension, it's going to cloud our thinking. And for you, that tends to get too much in the future, essentially using intuition too much. The intuition turns into don't miss.
Right.
You know, or what could go wrong. So we could build this a little bit of anticipation. Sometimes it's even unnoticeable. By the time we really notice the effect where we feel really uncomfortable and tense, a lot of times it's like too deep into
Too
it.
late, yeah.
I mean, we can definitely flip it, and I'll show you strategies how to do it, but learning that awareness and these warning signs before we even get there is the most powerful stuff. So even early in a round, just catching yourself being a little too target focused,
Sure.
talking a little too much, you know, as an introvert. Like, you can talk, but just knowing when to get into your window, get into internal to make your best decisions. Like, these are all things, just these little triggers that can keep you into an optimal mode more often.
Another thing I'm finding with this is, like, I find a lot of the time, especially under the gun, you get one of these putts where it's, you know, it's a tricky little 10-foot downhill, got a little bit of break to it. I find myself standing over the ball for a little bit longer than I like to the point where I'm conscious of it.
Yeah.
Where when I'm kind of pulling my focus back from the target to the ball or to myself, I feel way more ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, right on. Well, and that can be a trigger too, which is nice. Eyes come back, and then head steady.
Yep.
Here, let's even flip that again. Let's go this way.
Yeah, sure.
Do a little left to righter.
So let me ask you this then. If I'm, like, let's say I'm on the golf course, I'm reading a putt from the opposite side of the hole. Does it help to read it from the opposite side of where it's coming straight down the hill, like we were talking about?
It can. I mean, my question to you, at what point is too much?
Yeah.
And I don't know that answer for you.
Okay.
But I know for me personally, you know, as a feeler, like I just know once, like all I need to do on this one step here and I got it. Like I know where that thing's going.
Right.
And then I know that's going here. So if I start going different angles, too many different angles, for me, that just makes me start to second guess.
Okay.
But that might not be the same for you. So that extra read might give you more validation.
Because I'm just thinking right off the bat here, you know, obviously I'm opposite the golf ball on the hole. When I come to this spot where I almost feel like, you know, now I'm looking straight back up the hill to where the ball wants to come in from, it's almost easier for me to see that and then to come over here and be like, you know, okay, now I'm exactly opposite where I was looking.
Yeah.
Like this for me is harder to see than that.
Well, and that is perfect then, right? So, and this is where that whole looking uphill thing could play that role for you.
Sure.
For me, I've always just kind of used it as like, here, you know, dude, I know that's straight downhill.
Yeah.
Like I got it at my feet, I can see it, I can walk it.
Right.
Like I have no doubt.
Right.
But if that's easier to go, I can see this thing is straight up the hill.
Yeah.
Dude, that's perfect.
And that's kind of like I can definitely see it from here. And especially if I get a little bit closer, I can kind of start to feel like, okay, if the ball rolls right through here, it's in at dive speed. But almost visually, it was easier for me to get over there and look back up at it.
I love it. Again, man, there's no perfectly right answer. It's just defining your system.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we're just finding Mike or Vanderland out here.
For
Vanderland?
sure. Vanderland, yeah. I mean, I've heard everything you can imagine. So.
I can imagine. I mean, this is getting scary.
I mean, it's so good.
This is getting scary.
That's so good.
That's how you drop 9 under in Monday qualifier right there.
That's what I need.
Hey, I want to thank you so much again for watching another episode of Quest to be the Best and watching Michael Vanderland on his journey to improve and some of the concepts he's working on. So again, thank you so much for spending the time to watch. Again, keep watching these episodes as they come out. You're going to see some great things, some great exercises, and hopefully a lot of actionable things for you as well that you can take and implement right away. So thanks again, and make sure if you haven't yet, subscribe to this so you see all the new episodes when they come out. And if you haven't yet, there's 3 seasons before this, so go check those out. We got some awesome young ladies, professional, a high school player, and a college player going through the process of mental golf type as well, so you can see everything we do there, different personality types. But thanks again. We'll see you in that next video.